Well, hi everyone. It is not the day I am supposed to be recording a Flosstube. I shouldn't be recording until next week, but there's a couple of important things going on that I wanted to let you know about. So we're going to do regular Flosstube this week, and then we'll see what I look like, what things look like next week. I may just go back to every 2 weeks, and then it would just be shifted a week off of what the schedule was, or I may do one next week and then go back to every 2 weeks. It depends. I don't know, but I had some stuff that I want to talk about. Sorry, she's distracting me. I have some stuff that I want to talk about and some exciting things to tell you, and I actually had enough done to do a Flosstube, so I thought, why the heck not? So here we are, a week ahead of schedule. So I'll go through a normal Flosstube schedule. So we'll talk about important update. We'll talk about whips, and then we'll show you some haul. I'll talk about plans because those are starting to firm up now. And then we'll go into life updates, which is where I have some big news. As you can tell from the fact that I'm a little bit more bubbly than normal, good things have been happening. So anyway, yeah, we will jump right in. First, with the important update to do with the Betty White Memorial / Tribute Sal that is starting on January 17th. I thought it might be fun to do a kickoff Zoom call. Actually, it'd probably be in Facebook rooms because I don't have a Zoom account, but you get it, a stitch and chat. So I've already put out a question on Instagram, and unfortunately I have a dance lesson that night, so I can't do it in that sweet spot that would work for most people. So I have 2 proposed times if you're interested in participating. The first one being 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. That would be able to get people in Europe, it'd be evening for them, so they would be able to participate. It's also, since it's MLK Day, it's a state holiday for me, so I don't have to work, so I can do that. The other time, and this one is a definite go, and that's 8 p.m. That should give me enough time to get home from dance, get this one walked, and settle in with my stuff. So if you'd like to do a kickoff stitch and chat for the Betty White Tribute Sal, again, that's going to be hashtag Betty White Tribute Sal or hashtag Betty White 100 Sal. Hi. Sorry, I can see her in the video and she keeps distracting me. Look at his face, isn't it so cute? Anyway, then please DM me on Instagram. My account there is at DNA Geek Crafts. And let me know which time you prefer and that you would like me to send you a link when the event is ready to go live, and we can get together and start the sal together. So that is my important update. And if I'd waited until my regularly scheduled recording day, it would have been the day before, and I don't feel like that's enough time for anybody to be prepared for anything. So that's my thought. I think she is going to fall asleep sitting right here. Well, she was until my computer made a noise. That bird is on my computer. It's not a real bird. You can go look if you want. I'm not holding you here. Anyway, whips. I actually got quite a bit done this week. I don't know who I am or what I did with real Carrie, but I got some stuff done. So I'm going to start from my rough estimate of least to most done. And yeah, this first one is my not safe for work one. So I am going to go ahead and put in a black screen both before and after I talk about this one. So if you don't want to see it, you don't have to. You can just go ahead and move on. Just skip through from the black screen to the black screen and you won't have to see it. But this is the After Dark Sal from Urban Stitches. It was a 2020 Sal, but it's still available on their website. And the last time I showed it to you, it looked like this. And I only worked on this like one evening and I got maybe like 60 stitches in. And it looks like I got less done than I did because I had to frog and start over. And I won't show this very close at all. But you might be able to tell what it is, and I don't want you to be offended, so skip if it offends you. But here's where I'm at right now. So I've started filling in this whole section. I had to frog. I had 2 down here, and they were counted wrong. So I've got one row or one column done, and I will be filling in as I go. Okay, next up is I don't know which one has the next least amount. Probably this one. So this is Cryptid Sal. And this one is done on 16. Oh, this is a Pride Games fabric from Mystic Fabrics. This one is 16 count Olympia from Mystic Fabrics. And the last time I showed it to you, it looked like this. And I am still working on Yeti, but I got most of the frame done and most of his body done. And so here's where I'm at right now. And I'll move in closer so you can see what I've done on Yeti. There's the whole thing. There's Yeti. Super duper way behind on this one. Hoping to get a lot more work done on this one in the near future. The next one I worked on, this is part of my plans for this year, and I'll explain them later, but this is one of my older projects that I pulled out. This is the Skeptic Sampler. And when I showed it to you in my whip parade, this is what it looked like. And here's where it's at now. So if you've never watched me before, the way that I like to do my projects is I find the center so that my project is centered, but then I work my way up to the top left corner and then start filling in. So I'm in the process of working my way up on this one. And so here's where I'm at. So you can see I got a little bit more of the words done, and I started leapfrogging letters up to get to the top so that I can work on Marie Curie here. And when I get done with her, above her is the DNA border that goes around the edges, and I can use that to work out to the corner. But this one, it's going to take me a while, and it did take me a while because I am not very good on linen yet. This is only like the second or third project I've used that I've done linen with, but there she is. Got needle minders stealing needles from other projects. Next up is the Cozy Cafe Sal. This one is done on 16 count Haley's Garden from Mystic Fabrics. And the last time I showed it to you, here's where I was at. So I had just finished the Raspberry Mocha and I had a little bit of the shelf for the piece next to it, which is Earl Grey. And I'm continuing to work on Earl Grey, and so this is where I'm at. So I'm working on filling in the teacup there. And one thing about this one is that the way that the pages are printed, I had a hard time. I couldn't get this one into Pattern Keeper, so I'm doing it from a paper pattern. And the way that they did it is kind of cool because basically every time they gave us a new one, it contained the old stuff plus then the next pages, so that I really only need release 10. But they have the whole thing, and then they have each one like a close-up of each different mug, and it has like half of the next one on it. So this is actually the mug for the page that had raspberry mocha on it. And then this is the edge of the page. So you can see that part of Earl Grey was on it. So I'm still working off that piece of paper. I haven't printed Earl Grey yet. So I'll fill in this half and then I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. So if it looks like it's cutting off in a weird spot, that's why. But there it is. Next up, I have a new start. Already in January, I have a new start. But that was to be expected because really, I always have a new start. This is the matching CL to go with the Sebastian that Georgie, Crafty Rogue Gamer, made me. And so I tried to get a fabric that was close to what Georgie used. What she used was the Gray Cloudy Skies fabric from, I think it's from Claire Brown Cross Stitch. I'm not 100% sure. But I didn't really want to pay international shipping to get the same fabric, so I just went with a solid gray. So this is done on Over the Moon from Color and Cotton. It's an 18 count Aida. And there is no starting photo for this one because it's there's no last time photo from this one because it's a brand new start. So basically, here's where I'm at. So again, I started in the center and I kind of like worked my way over and then up. So this is the top and I'm working on filling it in down. And pretty much the only recognizable portion so far is his eye patch right there. So there it is. Very new start. Only about 300 stitches in on this one so far. But I'm gonna love him. He's gonna be so adorable. And he's gonna look so fun hanging up next to Sebastian over there. So. And keeping with Black Butler, I swear I do actually like other anime besides Black Butler. I don't know why this is the third project I've done for this one. I do have another one planned for this year from another anime. So, yeah, we'll get away from Black Butler eventually. Right now I'm watching Black Clover for anime, if you cared. But. So, staying with Black Butler, Deal Struck. And the last time I showed this to you, it looked like this. And I was struggling and it was going very slowly and it's still going kind of slowly, but we're better now. Thankfully, I had a New Year's Day chat with some of my friends, mostly people from the Coven, and then my friend the Cooking Nerd also joined us, which was a lot of fun for me that she got to meet some of my other friends as well. And so I got like 400 stitches done during our stitch and chat. And it was really nice. And I finally finished that stupid column during that chat. And so here's where I am right now. So I got that column done and I got almost all of another column done. I'm only about 200 stitches away from finishing this column. Then I'll have the one full column left and the one partial column left. And then I get to move back up over here and work some more on Sebastian's hand. So yeah, actually finally made some progress on this. Very excited about it. Hopefully I can keep up the enthusiasm for it. So yeah. So next up is plans. I don't really have anything super concrete. Pretty much, I've got my standard issue projects that I like working on that are going to be staying down and available. So Deal Struck and the Cozy Cafe Sal, and what else did I just show you? The After Dark Blackwork Sal. And cryptids. And then I'm kind of trying to do a focus project every month. And for this month, it's going to be Ciel, because it's my new start and it's a relatively quick stitch and I just want to keep it down. And then the other thing I think I'm going to do is, as we saw in my whip parade last week, I have 51 whips right now. There are coincidentally about 52 weeks in a year. There are 52 weeks in a year. So I'm going to try to pull out something new once every week or once every few weeks, because obviously those whips include the ones that I am working on a regular basis. So I don't have to pull out all 51 because some of them are already out. So for this past week, it was the Skeptic Sampler. For next week, the next couple weeks, it'll probably be the ones that I'll need for the Magical Stitches prompts. So this coming week is Oldest Whip. So that means I'll be pulling out Grimm's to work on a little bit in the coming week. And then I want to keep that up all throughout the year, because as I was doing the whip parade last week, I realized I've got so many neat projects that some of them I didn't touch at all last year. And so I'd like to at least put hands on each of them once this year. That doesn't take into account the fact that I already know I've got at least 3 new starts planned. That's just what I've already got planned. I know there are going to be other things that come up that I want to work on. There are going to be other projects that I'm going to decide I'm ready to pull the trigger on. And so that's what I'd like to do. As to what actually happens, I don't know. Knock it off. So yeah, basically plans are kind of a great big question mark, but I'm going to try to do some more. I'm going to try to limit new starts to once a month unless there's a reason not to, as in the upcoming, there are at least 2, possibly 3 that I'm still going to start this month. And those are the Betty White Tribute Sal, which is the Walk Fast sampler from Lindy Stitches. And then I have, I think this week, the first pattern drops for the Travel the World Sal from Climbing Goats Designs. I'd like to do Wonders of the Night Sky, but I don't think I have time for it right now. So the first one of that drops this week, but I haven't even bought that one yet. Then there are 2 that have already started that I haven't actually started yet. And that's because I have all of this fabric. I have so much fabric. And I decided that I didn't like anything for either of these 2. And they are the Climbing Goats Designs Temperature Galaxy Sal, or Galaxy Temperature Sal. And I really wanted that to be on Mystic Fabrics Nothing. And I don't have a piece right now, so I ordered a piece. And then the Urban Stitches What Doesn't Kill Us Sal. The frame for that has already dropped, but I decided I wanted a neutral beige for that. And I wanted it to be an even weave or a linen. So, because that one has, I know she does fractional stitches in her, trying to think of the word, in her patterns, in her blackwork patterns. And they're just a lot easier to do when you are you working on linen or Lugana or Jobelin instead of Ada. So I decided that I wanted to go ahead and order a piece of that. So I'm not going to start those obviously until the fabric gets in. That could be a month or 2, but the first pattern drop for What Doesn't Kill Us actually isn't even until February anyway. So yeah, I won't have the frame done, but I can work on that as I go, kind of like I've been doing with cryptids. Okay, so that's plans. Haul. I don't have a lot this week. I probably won't have a lot in upcoming weeks, but I have a couple of things, and they've gotten very well. I guess this is actually haul and stitchy kindness. So the first one is haul. I got my December fabric of the month from Stitch Me, and oh, it's so cool. This was a color month for me, and so the color that I got is called It's a Mystery. And so it's blues, but if you look at it in person, there is definitely a purplish tinge to the edges here. So it's blue and purple, and it's so cool. I love it. Actually, this might be good for the temperature, Sal. That'd be really cool. I'm gonna have to think about that. Anyway, but there it is. So that's all of my haul for this week. And then the last thing that I had was some stitchy kindness from my friend Jo, Stitchy Cat Lady 26 on Instagram and on Flosstube. And she sent me a Christmas card. And in that Christmas card, she sent me some of her lovely hand-painted floss. So here's what I got. I'm going to take it out so that you can see it without the glare. Said specifically for me so that I could do flamingos with it. So I'm going to have to find a pattern worthy of that beautiful flamingo pink variegated thread that Jo sent me. So thanks, Jo. I know I already told you, but I do love it. So that is everything stitchy related. So if that's all you're here for, talk to you later. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you next week or the week after. If you are here for life updates and pop culture and stuff like that, let's dive into that. Reading, watching, listening to. Oh boy, I've gotten a lot done. Watching. I had a Marvel binge this week. So I finished Hawkeye. I watched Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. And I am now halfway through The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where I had just started it before. So I've got 3 episodes left of that one. And then I went to go see Spider-Man. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I know I'm way behind the times with family stuff with the holidays, and then my movie date. Oh, we always go see the Marvel movies together. Just with the holidays, we weren't able to coordinate until this past Friday, but it was awesome. Of course, most of you know that. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. And wow, it's set up some pretty exciting stuff to happen in the next phase of the Marvel movies. I think it's probably easily the best one so far. And yeah, so that was my watching. It was pretty much all Marvel all the time. And then reading / listening to, because most of my reading is done on audiobooks. A few weeks ago, someone, I think it was Kate, recommended a book to me that she thought I would like to read very much. It was called Discount Armageddon. And gee, it's about a cryptid hunting ballroom dancer. I don't know why she thought I might be interested in that, but I am. So I'm about halfway through that, and I will be finished with it by the next time I talk to you, because I've only got 3 days left on it at the library. But basically, yeah, it's about a cryptid hunting ballroom dancer. Exactly that. And so it's pretty cool. And then I also read for Magical Stitches this year. They're back to doing themes, and I'm not a fan because it's hard enough for me to find time to read, and I already have a huge to-be-read list, so trying to either fit things to that or find other books and ignore my huge to-be-read pile is a little frustrating for me. But I did find a book with name in the title, and it was Charles Darwin's Barnacle and David Bowie's Spider: How scientific names honor adventurers, heroes, and even a few scoundrels. And so it's exactly what it says on the tin. It is a story about how people name new species they discover, and it gives some of the stories behind different species, why they were named, what they were named. It talks about honorific namings. It talks about pop culture namings. It talks about insult namings. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit more dry. It's about taxonomic science, which is not my favorite subject, but it's at the same time quite interesting. So I did enjoy it, and it was something I would not have otherwise read. So maybe it's a good thing for me. I am currently listening to The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling, I believe. And I don't normally go in for like romancy type books, but it's kind of cute. It's about a witch who inadvertently curses her ex and just all the disaster that follows. And I'm just barely getting to the part where like the ex just came back into the country 9 years later after the curse, and the curse took hold when he set foot in the town. And so like all of these things have just started happening to him, and he's starting to figure out that he's under a curse. But he hasn't figured out yet who cursed him. So yeah, I don't know. I'm only like maybe an hour and a half into it, and it's a 7-hour audiobook. So we'll see. But so far it's kind of cute. And I think that's it. Yeah, I got those 3 books. And nothing more to say there. So on to life updates. Here's the big deal. Here is the big deal. I got the job. The one that I interviewed for in October, that I thought maybe they were ghosting me or they were just taking a really long time and it was stressing me out. And I had kept applying for other things and not getting them. I got the original first job that I wanted. So, it's basically still doing forensic DNA analysis. I'll be working for a private lab, but the cool thing is it is 100% remote. I'm not doing any of the lab work, I'm just doing the data analysis and on. And so I can do it from anywhere, which means I can move back to Michigan. Now, I'm not moving right away. I guess I should mention first, I've already put in my notice at my current job. My last day there is January 27th. I start my new job on January 31st. I would have liked to have some time off in between, but they were really eager to have me start, and so I'm not going to argue with it. Because otherwise I wouldn't be expecting to have I wouldn't have an above normal day off until like April anyway. And I won't get that because it's Good Friday, but I'll actually still get it anyway. I'll get a day off anyway because I get my birthday off there. So, yeah. So I start January 31st. I'm not moving yet because with my luck, I'm moving to a very snowy portion of northern Michigan. See last week's story about the unbelievably stressful drive. through freezing rain and then whiteout and all of that jazz. And I figure that with my luck, the weekend we planned the move, major snowstorm, either here or there or somewhere in between, or all of the above. Because with my luck, all of the above would happen. So I'm going to move in the spring. Plus that gives me a chance to, there's some work that has to be done at my dad's house to get things ready for me. The room that I am planning to make my office with his permission. They have to get stuff out of there so that I can move my stuff in. It's going to involve taking the door off that particular room. So the door that leads to the outdoors. So it'd be nice to be able to do that when it's not a snowy and or muddy mess. So this gives me time to prepare, time to get stuff done at my house without worrying about contractors tracking in mud and snow and mess. It gives me time to get stuff done up at my dad's house with the same. I've asked my dad about putting a fence in for Lexi so that she has an area that she can run around. Because right now when I go up to see him, she's run away a couple of times at his house. And at one point we almost lost her. I thought for sure she was gone. She was missing for 24 hours. And so when she is at my dad's house, there's a little cable tie that when I let her out and I can't be out with her, she goes out on this cable tie. But it doesn't reach very far, and if we're going to be out there with the yard, I'd really like her to be able to run around. So I've broached the subject with my dad of fencing in a portion of maybe the backyard where it won't be seen so that she can go out and run around and enjoy being outside because she loves being outside without me worrying about her running away or without her being tethered to like a small area. So, yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. But the fact that it's remote and so I don't have to stress about the move right away, I think makes it even better. I mean, there are some downsides. I'm going to lose a lot of vacation time because I had been at my current job for a long time. So I had pretty much 3 weeks of vacation, a little bit more of vacation. Then we got 3 personal days a year, and then I had a separate sick bank. So I accumulate a lot of time off. And at my new job, I'm going to have 15 days PTO. So that is my sick, that's my vacation, that's my personal days, period. So I'm losing a lot of time off, which is kind of a bummer because I like my time off. My insurance doesn't start for 60 days after my employment. So that's another bummer because I'm going to have to pay for COBRA. In a normal time, I'm healthy enough that I might have just tried to go 60 days without insurance. But with my luck, I would get COVID, like hospital grade COVID, the day after my insurance lapsed. So I'm going to have to get COBRA health insurance to cover that 60 days. I'm going to lose a few holidays because working for the state, you get all kinds of holidays. I still get a decent number. And I'm going to really miss a lot of my coworkers. Work has been stressful lately, but I have some very good friends there and I'm going to be sad to go and I will miss them. But I don't even have to worry about that part until May because I can still see them. And all of my other friends down here in Indiana. And I think in the long run, it's still going to be better for me. It's going to take the stress off of worrying so much about what's going on with my family and not being close enough to actually do anything about it. Now I'm going to be in the same house. Can't get much closer than that. So that's it. That's really all I had. I basically wanted to take time to tell people about the Stitch-In Chat so that if they wanted to participate, they could. And I needed to tell you all that I finally got a job, and a lot of the uncertainty is gone, and hopefully that is going to help with my mental outlook, which will also help with my stitching. And so I'm going to let you go. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I don't know, maybe I'll be back on my normal schedule and still do a video next week, or maybe this will just shift the alternating and I'll skip next week. It all depends on how much stitching I get done this week. And I don't know, and how I feel. But anyway, have a great week. I'll talk to you next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. See you later. Bye.